I wanted to make a quick list of the top 5 organic pest control methods that I use for my garden. Everybody uses different things, but these are my top 5. So let's get right into it. The first one is going to be neem oil. Neem oil works on a broad range of insects and pests, also fungal issues, but it works on like moths, whiteflies, worms, caterpillars, aphids. It works by repelling certain insects, like the smell alone sometimes will repel them. It also will cause them to stop feeding once they've started to ingest it. It's almost like a little tummy ache for insects, so they're gonna want to quit eating it. And it is a hormone disruptor, so they have a harder time like laying eggs and kind of completing that insect life cycle. So you're disrupting that. So that's very beneficial for your garden. The only cons that I have for this is, one, the smell is not too good. It kind of stinks. And 2, it is an oil, so it can burn your leaves if you were to spray this in like the middle of the day in full sun. So to get around this, you want to spray this when it is either a very, very cloudy day and you know that the sun is not coming back out, or even better if you're spraying this in the afternoon when the sun is about to go down. That way in the morning, you know, it's already kind of dried off from your plant's leaves. The next thing on my list is going to be insecticidal soap. Insecticidal soap works on small, soft-bodied insects, so think like aphids, whiteflies, things like that. And it works by basically like sloughing off that outer body of an insect, you know, weakening those bugs. The only cons for this, it can kind of burn your plants a little bit if you were to apply this in full sun. And the other con for me is that it is not super like diverse in what it's going to work on. Like I said, it's just the smaller insects. And third on my list is diatomaceous earth. It works on a variety of insects. And as you can see, it's like a very fine powder, but it works on a lot of different insects, on caterpillars, on worms, beetles, basically anything that comes in contact with this that is an insect, it's going to work on it. It works by the little fine particles that you see. Basically, it cuts the underbody of these insects, and so it's almost like death by 1,000 paper cuts. The major cons for diatomaceous earth are going to be that it cannot get wet. You don't want to apply this like after rain or if it's about to rain, because it needs to be dry to make those little cuts on insect bodies. So fourth on my list, and it's number 4, but this isn't a particular order. It's actually one of my favorites to use. This is called BT, Bacillus thuringiensis. Hope I said that right. Oh, with BT. It mainly is going to work on worms and caterpillars. It also works on like mosquito larvae. It works by basically when they ingest this, like if you sprayed this on the leaves and they take a bite of that leaf, once they ingest it, it messes up like the cell wall and like the pH of their stomach, and it causes them to not want to eat. They're going to immediately stop eating your plant. Major cons for this for me is just the smell. It is like very, very stinky. Like when I say it, it stinks. The other con is that most of these are going to come in a concentrate. If you mixed it, you want to use it within 12 hours. But for me, that's kind of a con because like I like to just be ready with the spray. And I know it is a bacteria, which might kind of freak people out, but it is completely, everything on this list is not going to hurt us. Last on my list, number 5, is actually your hands. Hand picking. Now, I know a lot of people don't like bugs. I don't like bugs. I don't want to touch a bug. But, you know, I will put on my gloves, and even then, sometimes I'm a little squeamish. So, like, sometimes I just cut the whole leaf off. If I see a caterpillar, I'm going to cut the leaf and toss it in the back. Also with hand picking, like you can use like a stick. Certain things you might be able to use like a strong stream of water to kind of like shoot it off, like Japanese beetles or like aphids. If your plant can tolerate that, make sure your plant's not weak. If you visually see a bug, just get rid of it. That's sometimes the easier way, and you're kind of making sure that doesn't happen. And then probably follow up with one of these pest controls. But if you're using your pest controls on a nice schedule and you were consistent with it, you hopefully should not get to the point where you have to hand pick, that is going to be like kind of far and few between. Those are my top 5 favorite organic pest control methods. If you liked this video, go ahead and like and subscribe.